How's it going, everybody? Welcome back again to Constantly Varied Fitness, and we are here with some strategy and tips for Open Workout 18.4. So, I don't know about you guys, but I am absolutely super stoked for this workout, because this workout is definitely my wheelhouse. But for some of you out there, it might not be, especially when it comes to really a gymnastics heavy movement like handstand push-ups or a heavier barbell with a deadlift. So, we're going to talk about this workout, break it down, and make sure you perform your best for this movement and make sure everything feels good. So, for the workout, it is starting off with 21-15-9 deadlifts at 225 for guys, 155 for ladies, and handstand push-ups. So you go 21-21, 15-15, 9-9. This is the famous CrossFit benchmark workout called Diane. Once you finish that, you go straight into 21-15-9 deadlifts at 315, and after every single set, so after you do 21 deadlifts, for example, your 50-foot handstand walk. 15 deadlifts, 50, 9, and 50. You have a total of 9 minutes to get this done, so it's very aggressive. It's a very short time frame to get all this work done. We saw Scott Panchik and Gudmundsson, however you pronounce his name. They finished the workout, but it wasn't like they had like a whole ton of time. They're, high-level games athletes, like in the top 10 for the past couple of years. So for them to finish this workout, it's definitely challenging. And we saw them. Scott Panchik broke up the very first set of deadlifts from the get-go, and then towards the end they were doing like sets of 3 on the 315 deadlifts, even though I'm pretty sure their maxes are probably like 550 or up. So this is a challenging workout no matter who you are, no matter how strong you are, because even if you're really strong at deadlifts, you might not be that good at handstand push-ups or vice versa. People tend to kind of lean towards one more than the other. So when it comes to this workout, it's a lot of strategy involved, but we're going to talk about that when we get to the mental game. So first, starting off with mobility. The most important thing, I wrote it kind of a little bigger than the rest of everything else and put an exclamation mark, is posterior. Posterior involving your lower back, your glutes, and your hamstrings. Heavy deadlifts tend to light this area up, and if you are not mobile, you don't feel good in these areas, and they're kind of restricted before you start the workout, they're going to hinder you dramatically on this workout. So make sure you stretch out your hamstrings, your glutes, your lower back. Nothing too crazy. Don't hold like any crazy hamstring stretch for like 5 minutes each side and make them too loose. You still want a little bit of tightness in that area, so that way you can stay tight and then bound back up after you touch the floor with the deadlift. So don't make sure they're not too mobile. Maybe if you're doing the workout the next day, stretch them out a ton the night before. Maybe hold like 5-minute poses. But before you do the workout, I would do some very light stuff, more dynamic things, like you like touch your toes, hold for 2 seconds, take a step, touch your toes, hold for 2 seconds. For your glutes, I would just hold maybe like pigeon stretch for like 30 seconds to a minute each side, land on the crossball and kind of smash your glutes. And then for your lower back, just do like a forward fold. Keep your feet out in front of you, sit on the floor, and then reach for your toes, hold like 30 seconds to a minute. Just make sure everything back here feels good before you do the workout. If you're doing deadlifts and it doesn't feel right, spend a little more attention on it, because that is going to be the main determiner for this workout for a lot of people. Next, thoracic and shoulders kind of tie in together. So I've talked about this before in previous workouts. If you have this going on here, where your shoulders are very rolled forward and you have very poor posture and you have a rounded upper back, you need to make sure these are opened up so you have better range of motion and better efficiency in your movement for handstand push-ups. When you're pressing, you have to get your head through at the top. If you are here, and if you have really tight shoulders and really tight thoracic, this is going to be as high as you can get your arms. It's going to be really hard to do a handstand push-up because you're putting this much strain in your shoulder, and your shoulder's like, what the heck, I can't support all this weight with my arm out here. I have to get it up and back. So make sure before you do the workout, hang on the foam roller, open up your thoracic a little bit. I would do some banded chest movements, like put a band on the rig and take a step forward, hold on to the band and open up your chest here. You can do the same thing actually with the rig. Just hold on to the rig, open up, and kind of externally rotate your shoulder and get your armpit open. So you're kind of stretching up everything in here, making sure everything's nice down and back. You have that good posture. That's going to help you tremendously on the handstand push-ups. For the warm-up, I did a little differently than I would with previous workouts, just because I want to make sure 225 deadlifts, I don't want you to do too many of those before the workout, because if this is a heavier weight for you, if this isn't at least less than 60% of your max, or if it's more than that, it's going to be challenging. If it's less than 60, you might be okay, but I still wouldn't recommend doing too many before you get warm. Just make sure your posterior is warm before you get started and you'll be fine. So for the warm-up, this is what I made. I made 3 rounds, 15 Russian kettlebell swings at a kind of heavier weight, maybe guys like 1.5 pood, ladies 1 pood, 3 to 8 handstand push-ups depending on what you're most efficient at and what you plan on doing in the workout. So for example, on the 21s, let's say you plan on breaking up in sets of 5 or 6, do that in the warm-up here, make sure they feel good. Check out the new standard, make sure that you're hitting it and you're not getting short, you're not getting no repped. We'll talk more about that here. And then 10 box jumps. The reason I have box jumps in here is because the box jump is a similar movement like the handstand push-up, the kipping handstand push-up, but upside down. So you have your hip closed and you're exploding up and you're really opening that hip, which is similar to a Russian kettlebell swing. This is more posterior engaged, it's more of activating your glutes, where this is more of your hips and your quads, which is going to be similar to when you're upside down, you're inverted, doing that handstand push-up. So this is my warm-up, 3 rounds, 15 Russian kettlebell swings, 3 handstand push-ups, 10 box jumps. Once you finish this, I would then start warming up, maybe like sets of 5, sets of 6, whatever you plan on doing for this first round of 21, I would build up to that weight by hitting that reps. So again, if you plan on doing 7s for the 21, build up doing sets of 7, I do 135, 185, 225, I hit 7 reps each time. That way I feel good, and I know that if I can do 7 now, I'm pretty confident when I'm getting tired, I'm getting a little fatigued, I can keep doing 7 throughout the workout. For the handstand push-ups, for a lot of people it's going to be challenging. You either have them or you don't. You're going to practice them here, so make sure that standard feels good. And then for the handstand walk, the reason I did not write the handstand walk in here is because I had 4 of my athletes do the workout already. 2 were pretty fit ladies that I was very confident they were going to get to the handstand walk, and I had 2 guys which I was also very confident they were going to get to the handstand walk, but they were not able to get to that part. A lot of them got to the close end of Diane. A lot of them got to the beginning part of the 21 deadlifts at the 315 weight, but it's just, again, it's a hard workout. The new standard they threw on this is very challenging for a lot of people. That threw people off dramatically, and they were really fighting. They had to, pause and really shrug up to get their feet over the line to make sure the reps were counting. So people slow down a lot on there. So make sure you're practicing that here. Don't just do a couple. Get your tape leveled out and stuff. Make sure that's good to go before you get started. Practice some so there's no question before you get started with the workout. So again, the reason I didn't have the handstand walks in there is because a lot of people aren't getting to them. So if you do get to them, I'm very confident that you're already good enough to do handstand walks. That kind of came out wrong, but to the point where if you can get to that far in the workout, you're probably a pretty fit individual. You probably know a lot of the movements. You're probably pretty skilled and have that gymnastics movement to where you can just do it and you don't have to really warm up before it. Maybe do like a couple 10-foot lengths before the workout, but I wouldn't really stress it. Your arms going to be plenty warm, plenty ready for when you get to this part. They might be fatigued, obviously, but I don't think there's anything you need to practice for that. For the movement efficiency, a lot of things with this. First, starting off with the deadlifts, that's the most important part for a lot of us. When we're doing the deadlifts, first off, you cannot bounce the bar on the floor. A lot of people come down really fast and their arm kind of does this little bend. So imagine my arm's locked out and I come down, I touch the floor, I go bink, and then I come back up to my next deadlift. That cannot happen, that's a no rep. There's no bouncing. So you have to come down slow and controlled, tap the floor, and then spring back up. When you stand up and you squeeze your glutes, it's usually a good indicator that you've completed the rep, but a lot of people tend to keep their shoulders forward, which we saw Josh Bridges do a couple years ago when he ended up getting no rep on these, where he kept the shoulders in front of the bar, even though his hips were open. Your shoulders need to be behind the bar to finish the deadlift movement. So make sure you're standing up all the way, keep that big chest the whole entire time, not just at the top, but keep that chest up on the way down too, because a lot of people tend to let their shoulders roll forward, and it's going to wreck your back. Keep a nice big chest, shoulders down and back throughout the whole entire movement. That's for deadlifts. For handstand push-ups, what I saw a lot of people had to do today to meet the standard was bring their hands in, probably like an inch or two than what they're normally used to. A lot of people practice really wide handstand push-ups, and if you do, you're going to be screwed for these handstand push-ups. You need to make sure that you're comfortable bringing your hands in a little bit. Even if you're a little more, what's the word I'm looking for, cramped than you typically would be, that might be what you have to do in order to hit that standard. Because if you're doing wide, it doesn't matter how many you do if your feet don't get over. So practice that before you get started. Bring those hands in. With the new standard, it seems like, I would think when they showed it to us that it would be a better way for people to not get no rep, that it's more accurate based on what people's body measurements are, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Still seems to be pretty challenging for a lot of people. For the handstand walk, everyone's kind of got their own little style with handstand walks. Some people do it really pretty with their feet are together. Some people do like feet all wide and crazy. Some people do like splits as they do their handstand walk. I've seen people do handstand walks in my gym, the reverse, I guess you would say. So they're looking where they're going versus kind of like looking up and then walking. So there's multiple different ways. I'm not going to talk about that here. You either have them or you don't. You're not going to learn them overnight. So if you've been practicing them, good. If not, start practicing now. So we'll probably see them next year also. For the mental game of this workout, when I heard him say a 9-minute time cap, I got really excited personally, but what I see a lot of people doing and what I saw a lot of people do is that they just went gun-ho. They think, okay, I gotta get through Diane really fast so I have plenty of time to tackle these heavier deadlift weights. I'm not that good at handstand walks, so I want to make sure I have plenty of time to get at least one or other handstand walks in. But what they end up doing is they end up just frying them. Do your deadlifts however you need to do them. If you need to break them up, break them up. Don't try to go unbroken if this is a heavier weight for you. Play smart on the deadlifts. For the handstand push-ups, Do not, and I repeat again, do not try to go unbroken and try to do any bigger sets than you can, and all of a sudden you're getting no rep. Either your feet aren't going over the line, or you're kicking up and your feet don't touch the wall and then you fall down. I see a lot of people that just are trying to push the handstand push-ups more than their body is capable of doing, and they're just wasting energy and getting no rep. Do not let that happen to you. If handstand push-ups aren't your thing and you need to do sets of 3 the whole entire way, do sets of 3. If you're just going to keep getting no rep, keep getting frustrated and tired, and you're getting in your head, that's going to throw everything off. Don't let that happen. Break up the handstand push-ups from the start. For the deadlifts, when it came to 315 deadlifts, I had a guy that's pretty strong that has a 495 deadlift. 315 was tough for him. I think the biggest, I think he completed about 5 or 6 reps, and he only did sets of 2, and then a couple singles to finish it out. This is a heavier barbell. If you're able to get to this barbell, maybe singles might be the way. What I would recommend is just picking it up, dropping it. Some people like to hold on and do bigger sets because they can kind of bounce and keep that tension in the bar, and they feel like that's better for them. If that's you, do that. Otherwise, me personally, I do like the bouncing way and keeping tension when going down, but I think when it comes to this, if this isn't a heavy weight for you, if this is like around 70% or maybe less, I would recommend doing singles. Pick it up, drop it. Pick it up, drop it. That way it's just less tension of you holding onto a bar, you're shooting your heart rate up, you're getting more fatigued. This is going to give you like a quick little break every time, and I'm very confident it's going to help you go a little further. So try that. Actually, you're not going to be able to try it out because I don't recommend doing 315 before you get started. Like I said before, this is the warm-up I'd recommend. Build up to sets of this deadlift weight, and you should be good. Do not try to do any extra weight. Don't do 5 sets of handstand walks to get started. This is totally unnecessary. Either you have them or you don't. This is a very skill-intensive movement and shoulder endurance movement. You're not going to learn it overnight. You're not going to build endurance overnight. You either have it or you don't. So that is my tips, strategies, and everything I think about for 18.4. I'm excited for this workout. It's a really good one. It's really going to test people's, gymnastic skills, test people's strength, test people's just muscular endurance. This is a really, really cool CrossFit workout. Not that the other ones haven't been. This is probably my favorite year of open workouts so far, but this one is definitely going to be a beast for a lot of us. Alright guys, if you have any questions or comments regarding this workout or anything like that, make sure you leave them down below in the comment section. I usually respond within like 15-20 minutes. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for plenty more, and we'll see you guys next time.